Now let's take a look at an example of how useful the plot watcher can be at helping you decide if a particular stand location is good enough to hunt. Now let's say we're going to plan an afternoon hunt, and this is the last afternoon that I have videoed in this particular food plot right here. Now I have the whole day video, but I'm really only interested in the last couple hours of light. So to get to that last couple hours real quick on this video, I'm going to click and drag that play arrow forward, and I'm going to wait until I get to about 8 o'clock, because that's when the last couple hours will start. Now I'm going to play forward by clicking that play forward button. Every time I do that, I speed up the video. And we're going to see if anything's feeding in this food plot in the afternoon. Now there, all of a sudden you see some deer enter that food plot. Now I stopped that video just simply by clicking on the image. I could have also done that by clicking the pause button, but it's just faster and easier to click the image. Now I want to see where these animals walked into this food plot at. And there's two ways I could do that. I can either click the step button to go image by image back, or I can scroll the wheel on my mouse backwards or forward to go image by image. So now I'm not looking at a video, I'm looking at individual pictures. And what I see this animal walking in. He's at about 80 yards at this point. That's the first picture I see of him, so I know he enters the food plot from the northeast corner. And I can tell at this point this is already a really nice buck. So that's one of the things I'm looking for. I'm looking for a nice animal. He's in shooting light, good shooting light. I'm going to scroll through to see. I see a few more deer joining him out there. Now, if I want to take a closer look, I can zoom in on that particular image there. I can zoom in on any image, and I see that's a really nice 8-point. For Georgia, that would be a deer that would be worth spending our time and sitting in this location. Now, if you notice, that deer just left that food plot pretty quick. But there's a few things I noticed by watching that. One is he came out of the northeast corner of the food plot. He didn't stay out very long. He never got close enough to this camera that if it were a typical trail camera, you would have never seen this animal. You would have never triggered it. I also noticed that because of where I know my permanent stand location is, that this deer would have not been in range for a bow shot. And if I wanted to have a chance at harvesting that animal, I would have to bring in another stand, possibly a climber, and put in one of these pine trees up here to catch him entering the food plot. But before I walk in with a climber on my back, I'm going to look to see if there's a pattern of these animals feeding in the afternoon. So I'm going to take a look at the afternoon prior to this and see if we see some same activity. And I'm just going to repeat the steps that I just did. I'm going to take that arrow and I'm going to scroll it over to take a look at the last couple hours of light. If you notice, that deer a while ago walked out at 8 o'clock. Now right there's deer out there at 8 o'clock the day before. Now these deer, there's one that came from the south. Now I see some deer here. You notice in those pine trees, that's a long ways away. And now they're entering the food plot from the north side. And obviously that's not the same buck. If you take a look at that right there, you see that this is a total different set of antlers. This buck is much wider than the previous one, but still a great deer for Georgia. That would, at that point, that would really be all that I would need to see to know that this would be a great location for somebody to sit this afternoon. If we were planning on hunting, it'd be a great location to tote a climber in and sit in one of these pines up here, because the permanent stand location here would not suffice. So that's, as you can see, that's how I use these videos to put myself in the best position to be successful. Now, the next week, the best spot will likely be at another location, but that's fine, because I'll know wherever that best location is, because I'll have a video preview of wherever it may be with my plot watchers.